So, I don't have my regular gear. I'm at the shop today. So, can you guys confirm that you can hear and see me and all of that stuff? I just want to make sure before I get started. I know the lighting's bad and it doesn't look like the normal thing, but it's been so long that I just wanted to make sure I could get something done, but I couldn't get back from the candle shop and home in time, so I brought my stuff here to do it because we're way, way behind the eight ball. So, oh, there's Janet. Well, Janet, you're gonna be so mad when you come in tomorrow. I so we have a pattern now where we every week, during the summer the store is doing great, and and so we have to keep feeding it with product. And we didn't have the wax yesterday, so the wax came today. So basically, what we do is we make a certain amount on Monday, and then Janet cleans them on Tuesday. I make a certain amount Tuesday. Janet cleans for the weekend, and I hope my internet connection's strong. I hope it's okay. So, but we didn't have any wax yesterday, so I've been in here all day long trying to make up for it, which means that they've only got one day to make enough candles to go to Myrtle Beach. So, anyway, because it's all money, right? You have to have a certain amount of candles versus the gas money. The gas money has to be included into the price of the candles, so the margins go down. Less candles we take. So I have the formula for me is 25 boxes. If I can get 25 boxes down there, it makes it worth it. We might be a little bit short this week, but so that's it. I am tired. I'm exhausted. I'm at the candle shop with a bad webcam, so it's like a 1995 broadcast, but I haven't done this in a long time, and I wanted to say hello to you guys. And finally, I've signed up for episode 20 like 4 times, and then keep missing it. And so much has happened, Sean, how you doing? Everybody's on. Janet and Beth Ann, Dave, and Wendy. Dave Doesn't. What are you doing up there, buddy? Randy Hubbard. Lisa was the first to say hello. Robert, how you guys all doing? So, there's so many things that I'd love to talk about, and this is beating a dead horse, but I actually want to have a discussion. I want to hear all of your guys' thoughts on the thing. Like, I have a lot of curiosity about everyone's opinions, what to do. I'm so bad with names. I'm terrible with names. So I don't know the woman that's in jail, but it's time for her to talk, I think, more than anything. And forgive me if I don't know, because I really didn't care a lot about this at the beginning, but where are all the women? Are they still alive? Are they afraid to speak up? What is? Fill me in on some of this more than how hard is it to just let all this out? That's what I'd be curious about. Maxwell. Has anyone heard from her? Has she said anything? I saw in the news today she agreed to talk, I think, under certain circumstances. Does anyone know? My 7-Eleven big gulp of water that I just spilled all over myself. And Timothy Baldwin's text me. I have to see what Timothy wants. Yes, I do want to play an OBX show. If there's no file, how can she be detained? That's what I'm curious about. How is she in jail if there's no file? Where does this all come from? And what the fuck is happening? Like, I saw this. There's these jokes about where just uh, it's anything fucking goes, right? It's anything goes. What? You know how I feel. I get deep about this stuff, but I've been so busy for the last couple months. I've been a little bit disconnected, and I don't know exactly what's going on. Um, and then I saw that North Korea. Uh, North Korea is going to blow us off the map. They don't care about what we say. Uh, Iran's not stopping their nuclear treaty. The main died about a month ago in Australia. And then did I just see a giant earthquake hit in Russia? And I wonder if that's from all the bombings. You know, that's weird. Did we shake up the land? Like, I think I saw there was a giant earthquake. Are any of you guys seeing this? I feel like the stream is so slow tonight because I don't see. I see everyone's talking slowly. I see we have 22 viewers though, 6 likes. You know the deal. Hit me on those likes, and if you're brand new here, please hit that subscribe button. I'm almost there. I got less than 200 hours. I have less than 200 hours I have to log, and just a few more people to log into to sign up. Tina Armstrong, it was nice to meet you too. It did hit Russia. Arcos is under tsunami warning. Are you kidding me, Jeanette? The west coast of the United States is under tsunami warning. Boy, that's weird. That's weird to hear, man. Are you close to the coast? Who's close to the coast out there? Brandy and Lisa? Shit's getting real, man. Oh my God. Largest earthquake in history? Is that real? Like, I have to look this up real quick if you guys don't mind. I believe what you're telling me, but let me see what if the news is reporting it or whatever. Tsunami alerts triggered for entirety of the U.S. West Coast. Yikes. If you guys just haven't had enough fucking, well, California, holy crap. That's what it says. I hope you guys are safe, man. Holy crap. I hope Kelly's okay. I don't even know where the beach is from where you guys live up there. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand the geography at all, so, you know. So, Sean, tell me how the house is coming, buddy. Sean, he just did it. He went off the fucking grid. Started with scratch with a couple bricks and a shovel, building a house on some fucking land with nothing. Most amazing thing I've ever, literally the most amazing thing I've ever seen, even though I haven't gone down to see it yet. But, wow, I'm struck about this earthquake. I don't even know what to say or do about it. That's ridiculous. And what? It was as if he knew, right? I have to believe that he knew. He timed it all too perfect. You know, there was all this stuff they were saying that him and Sharon were going to go to Sweden and do the assisted dying thing. I wonder what happened. You know, Sharon is Brett's, I'm not saying anything bad about her, but if that was a pact, I think she needs to get down the road over to Sweden. I don't want to say anyone die, but if they made a pact, they made a pact, right? But, you know, it's funny, man, I saw Sharon promoting some of this show, and she looked so skinny. You know, she was never a super thin woman in her prime, and she was so skinny and frail, and I don't know, man. It's weird to watch. My son was so upset, and I think I've told you guys before, I prepare a little bit more for death because I watched my mom die slowly her whole life and waited the day every day that she was going to pass. That I have a different outlook on being prepared for it, and obviously Ozzy was old, and I don't even know Ozzy, so what do I fucking care other than what he delivered to us, which was incredible catalog of music. I don't have to embrace or celebrate it myself because everybody else is. I came into the candle shop today and everyone's listening to Ozzy music, but what I think is interesting about Ozzy Osbourne that I like to talk about um, is the impact on pop culture inadvertently, you know, um, and and the spirit. I think a lot of people fell into the character of Ozzy Osbourne, especially after the TV show. You know, I was a kid, and Ozzy was the third act that was introduced to me. And you guys know I was really, really young, so I was in elementary school listening to this stuff, um, and it felt dark. And the lyrics, even the lyrics to Crazy Train, you know, well, here's the one thing that sucks, to be honest with you guys, and maybe some of you guys know, maybe some of you don't know, is as much as we love Ozzy and we love the music he gave us, he never wrote any of it. He didn't write Crazy Train, and he didn't write Flying High Again, he didn't write Shut in the Dark. What's up, Clay? It's good to see you. Hit that like button, buddy. 8 likes, 26 people watching. That math isn't right. Um, You know, he didn't write that stuff. Other people wrote all that. He just delivered it. And, you know, I don't know that Jakey Lee wrote the lyrics, Dave. I think he wrote the guitar riffs. But I'm talking about the actual lyrics. But he was chosen. It's very divine. Very. He was the vehicle to send those messages. And some of those messages are so big. When I was a kid, I was so influenced by the lyrics that he was singing. Um, you know, thank God for the bomb. I think I've written about it in my book. I've talked about it a million times. You know, his phrase, "If that's the only thing that keeps the peace, then thank God for the bomb," was so long time. It kept me from being afraid of the end of the world because that made sense. Total annihilation. Make a threat of their annihilation, then nobody wants to play. And it's funny. I think you guys have seen, and it's very important to me. I didn't want to talk about it this way or start from this direction, but he was the conduit. He was chosen. But I started this merch store. Where I'm just, you guys are my friends, and I'm super honest with you. There's always financial turmoil. Ever since COVID, all the problems I had during COVID, I build back, and it's stronger and stronger and stronger in my personal life, my business life, everything. And Brett takes care of me. Brett, so don't think it. Brett pays me really well. I just got in an enormous amount of trouble. And I'm just being honest with you guys. And so if you see this merch store that I opened up, all my life I've relied on, this comes back to Ozzy, by the way. Hey, Jeff, buddy, how you doing? All my life I've relied on people to do the web stuff and the e-commerce stuff and the merch stuff. And so last weekend I just decided I'm going to learn how to do it myself. And I put the store together myself. I did all the coding that needed to be done. I connected it to, and even the products themselves, I've always used other. I decided that I could open this merch store and have this e-commerce thing where I can add any product any day. It literally, for any of you guys that understand how that world works, I can design. If I have an idea of something I want to put on a T-shirt, I can design and put it on the T-shirt and upload it to be for sale within 15 minutes. I showed it to Janet today. It's called print on demand, where you don't have to order stock yourself. Other companies make the stuff for you and ship it out. And so you don't have to keep any inventory. And so it's going to help my financial situation, hopefully, with the support of you guys. But it's also creativity. I always have ideas for stuff I want to put on shirts, but you don't want to order 10,000 shirts and be stuck with them. And so it's a neat outlet. But anyway, I put some Evick merchandise up there, and I put some Shining Soul merchandise up there, which all you Shining Soul fans, this is the first set of merchandise that has the new logo we made after COVID. So I'd love you guys to update. You can get your shirts and hats and different things like that. But the first shirt that I made in my phrases and saying things that I was so excited about. This is a 100% true story. Was the one that said, give me a second. We got 36 viewers and 15 likes. It was the shirt that, let me look it up real quick so I don't quote it wrong, if you guys don't mind. Timothy Bowl. I told Tim I was going live. Hold on a second. And Sean sent me a picture of the house. Post that picture up there, Sean. Give me a second, guys. I don't want to quote my own self wrong. So. Okay, so here's the point. Today was tomorrow, yesterday. Don't let your time slip away. So in actuality, Brandy Hubbard had posted something that inspired me to make a shirt like that. I forget what you posted something about there's only so much time or whatever, and it started me on I got my new merch store, I'm gonna make this shirt. And then I made this shirt with the phrase tomorrow, or today was tomorrow, yesterday, don't let your time slip away. Well, today was tomorrow, yesterday is a lyric in Thank God for the Bomb from Ozzy. And even though my message was something different than about annihilation, I was obsessed with putting that on that shirt that day and then changing the end. His is today was tomorrow, yesterday. It's funny how time can slip away. The doomsday clock has launched 1,000,000 wars. And I wasn't trying to be that morbid. Today was tomorrow, yesterday. Don't let your time slip away. It's the basis of everything I've been preaching since I started this YouTube channel. So anyway, here's my point. I stole that lyric from Thank God for the Bomb and put it in my phrase, and that was the day Ozzy died. And so I didn't put it up till the next day. And but it was weird. It's weird. Like I say, I'm the Forrest Gump of rock and roll, which is funny because I was talking to Edwin McCain this weekend. Edwin played with us in Kentucky, and Edwin has more stories than me, and he has these legendary people in the music industry, in the blues world, in the soul world, in the pop rock world. I said something about his stories. He goes, "Oh, I'm like Forrest Gump of rock and roll," and I said, I just said that too. What is my point? Oh, so it's ironic that I wanted to release that shirt on my merch store, and then Ozzy died. Like, was I channeled through that? It was strange, man. It was strange. And we played with Def Leppard that day in Saratoga, and boy, those Def Leppard guys, such sweet guys, they were sad about it, and they threw together that tribute on the fly. I don't know if you saw it in the video presentation. I mean, Brett made a big shout out. I made a big shout out before we went on. But what an impact. And the point of the impact is, again, he didn't write those lyrics, but he was chosen for some reason. Whatever the divinity is involved in the messages that Ozzy was delivering to us, they chose him because they knew that his character, his personality, was what it was going to take to get those messages through. It's insane. It's the same thing I say about Whitley Strieber. Why did they pick a fiction author to channel to talk about their alien existence? Because he could tell the story correctly. I hate to say it, but he could sell it. Just like in Nashville, when you're going to write a song, people pick it that they think they can sell it. And this is, there's a certain level of, as I grow more spiritual in my life, there's a certain level of divinity that I'm finding out happens that I used to feel it as powerful and chosen, but this stuff happens on a crazy level. And the messages that Gavin was playing a song today that I'd never heard off a later Ozzy record, and I'm so taken back by it. But the lyrics were a message. Always messages. Don't know how to post a picture in the chat. Not that much. So with Ozzy dying, man, just talking to a couple friends of mine. Do we ever see something like that again? I guess my point to that is, I posted this, but I can't post it correctly. I can't make the point. My mother, my mother loved Ozzy. Uh, she hated it. She was very picky, man. She liked a few things. She didn't love or like anybody. She loved Ozzy Osbourne, but yet he was someone that she would have hated everything he stands for. But he was powerful to her. He was powerful to my son. When you were a kid, and then he turned out to be one of the most lovable human beings on the planet. Who knew that? Who saw that and planted him here? And how do you get another one of those? Like, you talk about people like Martin Luther King and all these world leaders, and I'm certainly not comparing Ozzy to Martin Luther. I'm not doing that. But the message, he delivered it on a bigger scope than Martin Luther was able to deliver his message. And I don't know if anyone understands the real message, but the real message with Ozzy Osbourne was really the same message that I try to talk about. Same message that I talk a lot with CC DeVille that gets hidden sometimes is the real rock and roll spirit. A lot of rock and roll, even in the late 80s, it became, you know what it became, because then the grunge thing came. But the spirit of rock and roll is to do whatever the fuck you want. That doesn't mean you have to hurt people. It doesn't mean you have to be crazy like Ozzy or even like myself or Dave Dunsmith. The spirit of rock and roll is to do whatever the fuck you want and not conform. And he taught that. He lived every second of his life doing what he wanted. Even knowing when he was wrong, knowing when he was going to get in trouble, knowing when he was going to hurt the ones he loved. He still did what he fucking wanted. And that's a powerful message that I hope some people can embrace. And I'm not saying to hurt the ones you love, but I am saying do what the fuck you want. Follow your gut. And if those people love you, they'll understand. Like that doesn't mean, I feel like throwing a rock through that window over there. So, I say that because I'm looking outside the store today. But his spirit was that big and that powerful. And I hope that that is the message that gets passed on through life. He was a leader. And he was so important to me as a kid. But I never knew him. It's weird. It's weird because I'm not an idolized guy. If you ever see me, I'll never say I have an idol. Even though I'm not religious, there's that whole God says don't worship false idols. For some reason that struck me. All my life. And even though I don't see God as an idol, don't worship false idols. And people are just human. They're not idols. Do whatever the fuck you want, right? Maybe that'll be my new shirt. So I don't claim to have idols. And if you ever seen, if someone ever goes, was Eddie Van Halen your idol, or was this or that your idol, I freak out. No, I don't have idols. I have heroes. That's what I have. Heroes, not idols, but heroes. I think there's a difference, Just like I tell you before, when people say, "Do you believe in aliens?" To believe in something is to have faith in something and to put your faith in them that they're going to protect you or something like that. We all should do what we want. You got it, Brandy. So I have heroes. I don't have idols. I don't worship aliens. I don't worship any of this stuff. And then Hulk Hogan passes away. It's ridiculous, right? I've met Hulk Hogan several times. My mom loved Hulk Hogan too, so that was really weird for me to watch that two people that my mom truly loved pass away. There you go, Jeff Marshall. And I remember the last time I saw Hulk Hogan, he was in my dressing room in Clearwater, Florida, at I can't remember the name of the Ruth Eckert Hall. And I think I'd had a little bit to drink. And I walked up to him. And we've talked in the past and stuff like that. And I said, my mom made me go to the first WrestleMania. She loved you. She loved Andre the Giant. Said I was a kid, so I didn't quite understand what it was really happening then. But now I know that my mom just wanted to suck your dick. And his fucking eyes popped out of his fucking head. I mean, he's a pop culture star. He's a good looking guy. He had his fair share of partying and excess. So, it wasn't like he'd never heard that before. But just sitting in the dressing room, I think Brett was there and a couple of his people were there. So I said it in a very strange environment. But it embarrassed him. He couldn't handle it. So that was funny, but it was weird to think that Hulk had died. And it bothered Brett a good bit because Hulk and him were friends. But what a huge part of pop culture both of those guys were. And I have to tell you this. I have to tell you, I actually got mad at, geez, it's my channel. I can say whatever the fuck I want, right? There was an enormous amount of white dudes my age posting, "This comes in threes, who's next?" And I just thought, you fucking stupid motherfuckers. Because Jamal from the fucking Cosby Show was just as big and iconic in his own way. And he had fucking died. And it was the first time in a long time I thought most white men my age are truly fucking racist idiots. It holds up ships and whales. Sean, you're funny, buddy. Yeah, it's funny. Like, they didn't think about Jamal. That guy, he was part of my childhood and my life growing up too. Cosby Show was fucking great. I know Cosby turned out to be a fucking prick, but the show was great. We all fucking watched it. Don't fucking lie. But now I think some other people died too. Like some famous cook died or something like that. I don't know. But here we are, just like last year. About this time last year, we're at that fucking age. That's all. The chat's doing something different today. Do you guys have any idea why there are crowns and numbers next to people? Like Brandy Hubbard has a crown and a number 1, and Jeanette has a crown and a number 3. Is there some kind of rating now going on about? I don't know. I don't know, but there's 30 people and 21 likes. I like that ratio better. Yeah, that truck guy died. It's just the age we're at, I guess. Who knows? Anyone see anything else about this earthquake? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How do you know that you're number 1 and number 2 fans? How does that become a thing? And why does number 1 and 3 keep popping up? Where is number 2? Like something's... I want number 2. Where's my number 2 fan? Yeah, Brandy's a number 1. Brandy and Lisa, I don't know if you guys saw one of my shirts in my merch store is "I love camping." I expect both of you to have that shirt eventually. Speaking of the camping thing, yeah, I talked to Lisa, and I've talked to Brandy, and I've talked to my friend Kelly, and Heather, and a few people, and we had such a wonderful experience together. It was truly a special thing, and I was talking to Kelly, and we're going to do this thing next year, and we're going to promote it far in advance, and I'm going to do it in a few different places, but I'm gonna everybody has a niche, right? Everyone has their thing. And the older I get and the more I just love the outdoor life and the hiking and the camping life, how do I combine the two? So I'm going to do a series of shows that's camping with the band. And they're going to be packages. So, Chad's very reluctant to do it, but he agreed to do it. I may have to bring in a trailer instead of tent for him and Dean, but I'll stay in the tent. But we're going to do it, and it's going to have different tiers. We're going to have an off-site spot that Brandy and Lisa both saw, and it's to be honest with you, it's going to be tiers. You're going to pay a certain amount to be able to camp there in that exclusive spot with the band, and in that spot with the band, we're going to cook out for you, and we're going to sit at the campfire with you, and we're going to have an exclusive concert by the campfire. But then there's going to be other campsites sold at the site, not at this exclusive little part, for a lesser price. And then there's going to be the regular concert, and we're going to have certain tiers get boat rides and different. We're going to turn this thing into a weekend fucking thing. But it's going to be camping with the band, and I'm going to grow it into something else. I'm going to get it into something bigger than that, with artists bigger than me. I'll figure it out. Joanne Waldron says she's in. Joanne, are you going to get into a tent? Oh, there's the Yoies. How you guys doing, man? How is your fucking mother? All the comments. There you go, Terry. But it's going to be cool. Like, I've thought about it, and if people want to fly in, maybe, we'll provide tents. Tents, you could buy some cheap tents. I like my super high quality gear stuff, but, you can get Walmart tents for $25, $30. And if I invest in, $500 worth of tents and a few supplies so people can just fly in and have their stuff there, I think it could turn into something cool. And I think that I could turn some people on to the life, because I think a lot of people don't know what they're missing when they, it's not going to be glamping, buddy. I'm not glamping. In a tent, though, Joanne, will you get in the tent? That's the most exciting thing I ever heard, if it's true. The more I've done it, the more, I sound so generic, but the more in touch you get with nature and stuff like that, the more you feel alive, and the more you realize what's important and not important. And so I think that I might be able to show people a different side of my life that I enjoy. I think, if I'm correct, both Lisa and Brandy, they weren't super into the camping idea, and they had a good time. Hey, Roxanne, you'll have electricity and all that fancy stuff. So I think I'm going to work really hard into turning that into something when Brett takes a break, if Brett ever takes a break. But is Brett ever going to take a break? That comes another thing I want to talk about. You guys saw he had some health scares again last week. It's interesting. I know that most of you on this room love that guy. Love him. Even those that don't know him. Who went to number one? Oh, that's heartbreaking, Brandy. Oh, Joanne Waldron's number one now. That's awesome. A lot of you guys love him, and you don't even know him. But the side you guys see is fun and nice. But the real guy that none of you have ever seen, unless Adam and Marlon are on here, the real guy is incredibly lovable. I often tell him his fan base would triple he would just let me film him on the car rides. What's up, Rich? With those glasses I have, I think about doing it all the time, but that would be a betrayal of trust. But it would also be capturing something he doesn't understand is so special. But my point is, the guy I know that I love so much, we're at a strange point where the fucking anger I have for him refusing to take care of himself. This is something I shouldn't fucking say, and I am putting it here on YouTube, and this could end up all over the magazines tomorrow if the wrong person sees it or watches it. I might be making a big fucking mistake right now, but I'm gonna say this. The guy pushes himself. He wakes up every morning like he never made it. I've told you guys all this before. He wakes up in a panic of how to succeed. And I do too. But I have not succeeded like him. I do not have a plane, and I do not have mansions, and I cannot do whatever I want, whatever I can. I'm hawking merch I make up to my friends that are as broke as me, or trying to pay my fucking bills. So we're not the same. We're not the same. But we're the same spiritually on a lot of levels. And I have such an intense anger for his inability to take care of himself that I don't know what to do, and I'm at a crossroads. And he knows this too. I said this to him the other day. Lisa, you're very right. He has this weird thing. I say to him all the time, if we just go home and we do like every other band and just play during the summer 30 or 40 shows, then those shows would all be giant shows and much bigger, and you would feel like a much, much bigger star. But I've been in the band 21 years, and we've never stopped. The only time we stop is if Poison plays. 21 years of playing the day before Christmas, the day after Christmas, playing on Thanksgiving, playing on the 4th of July, and every day in between. But his health's a real fucking thing. My health's a real thing too. And sometimes I don't even answer the phone when he calls anymore because my anger that he's not taking care of himself. And him and me, he's older than me by a decade. We're at that age where we're becoming stubborn old white men, where we don't want to hear advice from anybody. We don't want help from anybody. We don't want to hear about it. I know what I'm doing. I'll take care of myself. That's who we are. And pisses me off, man. It pisses me off. Sometimes the way we're traveling, we have to drive hours. Even though he has that plane, there's certain drives that make more sense to drive. And he likes to travel, and he likes the camaraderie, but he's a diabetic who needs to keep in motion. And sometimes he'll sit, not on purpose, but out of necessity from where we're going, for 10 to 12 hours at a time. And you can get blood clots, and you can get neuropathy, and most diabetics lose toes and stuff like that. And he knows this. He knows this. And every week he'll say, I'm not doing this anymore. We're going to cancel everything and move everything and turn everything around and schedule everything so that we're not killing ourselves. And then we do it again. It's been going on for a couple of years. To the point to the point where almost every day every morning I wake up and I want to call him and quit the fucking band. I want to quit the fucking band because I feel like that's what a real friend would fucking do. It would at least put a big enough dent in it that he would have to stop for a couple weeks. I mean, he would have someone in my place in a second. There's no, I mean, he probably would stop for a day or 2 days. I don't know. But I want to say to him, I quit the fucking band because you're killing yourself and I don't want to watch you fucking do it anymore. I know that's very dramatic, it's very Hollywood-like, but I feel that way. More than you guys will ever know, I feel that way. But then the friend in me isn't going to let him down. I'm going to be there with him. I made a vow that as long as he does there, I will be there. Because having a solo band is a lot of times hired guns. You don't really have closeness and camaraderie. And we created something that we created a really cool friendship. And so it's a catch. It's a catch. But, and then I get up on the stage and I'm like, fuck this is great. Whoa, we're going to live forever. Because when you're up there, it feels like that. You are untouchable. Hey, Tressa, you're an untouchable fucking human being when that guitar is in your hand and that PA is that loud. You, without a doubt, feel like a bolt of lightning could hit you and you could throw it back. So it's an array of emotions. Every day I quit the band. Every day I don't answer his first text or call. Take over the world together again. But anyway, I worry about his health, just like all you guys do. And there's nothing any of us can do about it. So we just let it go. You can tell him you care about him in the meet and greet line. You can tell him anything you want. We're worried about you. We love you. He's going to die up there. Me and Brett are going to die on the stage. So that'll be fun. We'll go down in history. Brett more than me, but it's interesting. I just worry about him. And he wants to live his life the way he wants it. I hear you, Lisa. I get it, and I do too. I do too. I don't know. All that was weird. I don't think I should have said any of that stuff, but it kind of just started coming out of my mouth. So, yeah, we would all be sad, disappointed if anything happened to either. That's very nice of you, Brandy. It's, you know, these moments when Ozzy and Hulk die, you think about that stuff, and it's you know, Brett's their age, right? Right. I used to laugh. I have to tell you guys, I think I've said this before. When Brett had his brain hemorrhage, and we did the first show back in Biloxi, and then we started doing all these other shows. And you guys know I always stand there in the meet and greet line. I talk to people. What I'm really doing is watching Brett. You guys know that, right? I'm watching, make sure he's okay, make sure a fan doesn't go crazy. We all know what happened to fucking Dimebag Darrell, right? We all know what happened to John Lennon. There's people that love Brett that much, and there's people that love Poison so much and think that he's the reason that they don't play much. And, you know, that's why Dimebag got shot. So if you do quit, you think it's the next person would have his best interest at heart. You keep an eye on him. Yeah, no, you're right, Jeff. That's part of the thing. But I used to laugh because in the meet and greets, people would come up to the meet and greet and say, you really need to take care of yourself. You don't need to be out here talking to all these people. Well, what the fuck are you doing in the line then? Like, the hypocrisy to it blew my fucking mind. At least every night, 10 people in the meet and greet would say, you shouldn't be out here doing this. But you paid the fucking money to come back here and say that to him, you fucking idiot. Like, it was amazing to watch that happen for a long, long time. That That's what I have to say about that. uh, it's weird to do this in the shop. Like looking out at the street in Manassas, I'm unfocused. Everything goes around, and I hate being alone in the shop. Even though I'm down here all the time pouring candles in the middle of the night. When we first got this shop, Tina had it saged and had some psychics and stuff come in, just because this is a historical building that's been standing in a historical part of town since the Civil War, and there was some spiritual activity that was picked up on. And as much as I love my extraterrestrial world and am engulfed in that, I don't the ghost thing, I don't like that. Now, as I'm learning, it's all tied together and it's all similar stuff, and I'm starting to be able to accept it more, but still, every time I turn my head this way, it's creepy because they have the lights off in the back room back there, and I can see that. And every time I look this way, I'm looking out into the street. The street looks cool at night. Most of you guys that have been here know it's such a cool little thing, but it's just weird doing it here, doing the live. And I haven't said much. I don't feel like I've had anything important to say today. That for those of you guys that have kept up with my journey with the abductions and things like that, and my journey into understanding what's happening in other dimensions, so to speak, in other realms, I think that we discussed on several of these episodes that oh boy, you guys need to tell me this shit while I'm sitting here. I think after that hypnosis and having a couple people watch it and understand what was going on and understand my past, and we came to realize that there are moments where I'm able to be in some kind of trance where I kind of exist in two planes. And ever since I put that together and I was told that's what was happening, and ever since my conversations with Whitley, I've been focusing on the meditation, and I've been able to do this sometimes at will, at an instant. And I did it on the plane the other day. It was really weird. I was wide awake, and I had my eyelids were closed, but I completely could see everything in front of me in the dimension we live in the world that was happening. And in the corners of my eyes, I saw another dimension existing. And more, I did it the other night while we were driving, me and Ryan, our monitor guy, across the country. But I'm starting to be able to understand and do it at will, which is very fascinating, and I hope to see where that leads me. My friend Bear has started Paul Lyles Bear has started a whole meditation camp where he teaches people how to meditate and do stuff. And I may hold on. Oh, there's Tina. The ghost is still there. Yeah. And actually, Tina's experienced me having these moments a couple times in the last few weeks. I spent a lot of time late at night laying on the couch, and she's actually seen me in multiple, interacting in different realms, heard me speaking. It's been interesting. So the journey to that is still going. I just haven't had a lot to say about it, because I'm back to being a learning experience here now and trying to figure it out. There's all kinds of other stuff going on in that concern with UFOs, as I do the existence of an extraterrestrial or multidimensional life. And when that whole thing about the Tic Tac first came out, I was excited about it, for those of you guys that know, but something about it, I always thought that's not a UFO. It's not a UFO. I mean, it is an unidentified flying, but it wasn't alien or extraterrestrial, whatever. And now there's a handful of people that are two of the biggest supporters of UFO disclosure. One of them, I always forget his name. He works on News Nation and he reports every day about this world. And I love him. I don't know why I can't think of his name. He came out a couple weeks ago and he said that he undoubtedly now knows that the Tic Tac is made by Lockheed Martin. And then, what's his name? David Greer, the big Greer guy, who's huge in this world of disclosure. He has always claimed that it was American-made piece of technology, which is fine because I always thought it was too. It didn't. I never looked at it and went, that's something I'm aware of, And Tina can vouch for me. When I see something that is something that I know I've seen or been a part of, or am looking at something that I believe is real, it stops me in my tracks. I'm almost paralyzed by certain things I see that take me into that world. And when I saw that Tic Tac, it didn't even faze me. But it's put a huge dent in the world because everyone went and said, well, it's not a UFO. There are no other experiences and experiencers and things. Just to find out the Tic Tac itself, Tic Tac wasn't real, doesn't mean anything. Or not real, it's real, it's just American made. It doesn't mean that stuff's not out there. And that's a very interesting community is. And then the government came out a few weeks ago and said that they had actually, on a lot of the military guys, they'd played jokes on them about showing them what they thought was a UFO and telling them they'll get killed if they ever told anybody about it. And it was a hazing. You can read about this or watch it on a bunch of podcasts. And the military has come out to explain that it was a hazing. So, but all that did was backfire because now it's like, oh, so you have been lying to us all these years. And by saying, there's just so much controversy in the world, the ufology and the that world right now is upside down in a strange place, but we don't give up, I guess. We don't give up. So that's about it. I'm going to pack up and go home. It wasn't very interesting. It's never very interesting to me, but it is interesting to me, but I always think it bores everyone to death. But you guys watch and you text me and you do say it's interesting, and when I miss it, you guys say you wish I was there. I got to go see what's happening with this earthquake. I'm worried about the tsunami, and I'm happy to speak to all you guys. You guys were pretty interactive today, and I that made me happy. I appreciate. I do remember that, Wendy. I remember the shit out of it with the clothesline and stuff like that. That's funny you bring that up. Yeah. So it's good talking to all of you guys. It's good talking to all of you guys, and hit that merch store. You got to hit the merch store. Help me out. I don't want to go to jail for my debt. I'm laughing, but it's coming. Oh, yeah, news break. Wait, no news breaks? Yeah, here. Oh, yeah. So, here you go. Oh, peeps. Hold on, I'm typing it. What just happened? I don't know what happened on my screen at all. That's weird. Oh. PetesMerchShop.com. Go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. I don't know how to advertise it enough yet. So, but there's all kinds of stuff. I even put a mug up today. I haven't posted about it yet, but I put a mug up that with an alien head that says uh, you people choose terrible leaders. I think it's awesome. I think everybody needs that mug. Uh, you know, but I have a couple dog shirts. I have a shirt with Boba's face on it about blue healers. Uh, I have an Outer Banks shirt. I have a beach shirt. I have Evick merchandise and Ultimate Acoustic Show merchandise and Shining Soul merchandise and anything that you guys help support me keeping doing everything I do. I appreciate it so much, and hopefully I can do this again next week instead of like a month ago. I feel like it's been. A month, and if you've never been here before, please subscribe to the channel, and please hit some likes and everything. And you guys are great. I'm lucky. All this hour, and I just want to say I'm lucky to have these friends. Look at all you guys. Awesome. I'll find some interesting shit to say next week. All right, Brandy, you ended at number 2. Joanne's still number 1. What a battle. I'm glad to have a number 1, number 2, and number 3 fan. I'm grateful, every one of you. Tina, by the way, Tina Duncan, I didn't see your text till the next morning, but I assume everything got worked out, or there would be more text or whatever. So, but I'm glad you and Mike made it down to the Outer Banks, and I hope that was a special show. It was very special. It was very special. That was the one thing I have to say, I was very fortunate to take the band and crew and show them the Outer Banks in the evening, the special stuff, the lighthouses and the private beaches and stuff. And then I got up in the morning and was able to take Brett and show him those things. And those are the things that matter. That I got to show people some of my favorite stuff. So, all right, guys, what a wonderful night. Me and the ghost in the city going home. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.